Welcome to the State Softball Championships. You're watching softball on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom in partnership with KSL Sports. My name's Matt Robinson. Welcome this evening to the 7 p.m. one-loss bracket. And this is the end of a long, exciting day of softball. Both of these teams, the South Sevier Rams, the home team, and the Gunnison Valley Bulldogs, the visiting team, are trying to fight their way through the one-loss bracket to move into tomorrow. The winner of this game plays tomorrow at 12:30 against the loser of the undefeated, two of the undefeated teams. The loser of this game is done. So it's win or go home. I'd like to recognize our sponsors: Rocky Mountain Chevy Dealers, Utah Community Credit Union, Intermountain Power Service Corporation, Central Valley Medical Center in Nephi, Sunrise Engineering, Sanpete Steel and Moroni, Beaver Valley Hospital, Nephi Federal Credit Union, Beaver Medical Clinic, Barney Trucking, Honey's Marketplace in Kanab, and Jones and DeMille Engineering. And the Gunnison Valley Bulldogs, the visiting team, will lead off. Leading off for the Gunnison Valley Bulldogs, number 2, Riley Dyring. In the circle for the South Sevier Rams is number 14, Hazen Taylor. And Hazen opens up the game with a called strike 1. Swinging, foul tip, strike 2. And Taylor quickly jumps up on Dyring. 0-2 here in the top half of the first.
Update the score after each inning or half inning.
There's the 0-2 pitch. Backwards K called strike 3. Dyring goes down looking. And Taylor opens the game by hitting her spot on the inside corner. Strike 3 for the first out in the top half of the first. Stepping up to the plate is number 24, Jaquel Sorensen. Taylor toes the rubber, and here's the pitch. Painting the corner outside, strike 1. So lots of excitement, lots of emotion. Taylor executing early here. Foul ball, strike 2 down the third base line. So Taylor comes up and in on Sorensen, and Sorensen fouls it off down the third base line. Falls behind 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the top half of the first inning. There's the 0-2 pitch, dead ball. And the count remains at 0-2. So Taylor painting the strike zone here early. Toes the rubber up 0-2. Foul ball back and out of play over the first base dugout. And the count remains 0-2. Taylor, a senior.
Is number 14, Hazen Taylor. Catching is number 3, Caitlin Nelson.
For the South Sevier Rams. Both of these teams advanced earlier and meet up in the one-loss bracket. Line drive up the middle, and squirts through the legs of the center fielder. Sorensen is going to take third base. So that's a single followed by an error with the center fielder, which gives up second and third base. So with 1 out, Sorensen on the 1-out single advances all the way to third base on the E8 as the ball squirts through the legs of the center fielder. So with 1 out, runner on third base. Number 10, Kiesel, steps up to the plate. Change up, and that ball is hammered down the left field line. Fair ball. And that's going to be a 1-out RBI double for Kiesel. That ball was obliterated. Taylor left that one out over the plate, and Kiesel made her pay with a double down the left field line. And the Gunnison Valley Bulldogs plate their first run of the day.
Now batting number 6, Miley Ha'o.
Miley Ha'o, a sophomore, steps into the box. Foul tip, out over the first base fence. And that brings the count 0-2. So Taylor quickly jumps up on hot 0-2. And the 0-2 pitch is hit deep into left field. The left fielder back and makes the play. But Kiesel on a heads-up play tags and advances to third base. Even though the fly ball was to left field, it was deep enough to advance the runner. So Howell flies out to deep left field, and Kiesel advances to third base.
Now batting,
two outs.
Number 20, Bentley King.
Runner on third. And that's a first pitch ball. Count is 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Taylor. On the inside corner, fouled straight back for strike one. Brings the count even to 1-1. 2 outs with a runner on third base. Gunnison Valley leads early in the top half of the first, 1-0. Painted the inside corner, did Taylor, for strike two. So Taylor jumps up on King. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And there's the 2-strike hit right back up the middle from number 20, Bentley King. With the RBI, the 2-out RBI single right back up the middle. Great 2-out hitting there by number 20, King.
Now batting number 12, Madeline Pratt.
Pratt, a freshman, steps into the box. That ball is popped up in foul territory and ends up dropping foul, a play that could have and probably should have been made by the first baseman. Taylor does her job and gets the pop out, but in foul territory it lands foul, and the count goes to 0-1. And that's a ball outside, levels the count at 1-1 with 2 outs. Runner on first base. Swing and a strike. Brings the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs and runner on first. Taylor doing a good job. She's in the zone, throwing strikes early in this game. But the Gunnison Valley Bulldogs already up 2-0. It's a foul ball, back and out of play. The count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a runner at first base. Ball 2 to number 12, Madeline Pratt. Here's the 2-2 pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Ball is hit foul to the right side. The count remains 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs with the runner on first. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Off speed and high and outside. Brings the count to full 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. And early in the game, 3-2, 2 outs. You'll see the base runner moving. So that should have been ball 4. And yes, it was. So Pratt draws the 2-out walk. Puts a runner on first and second with 2 outs. Number 44, Maggie Bartholomew, steps into the box. Bartholomew offers at the first pitch, fouls it straight back.
Number 44, Maggie Bartholomew.
Here's the 0-1 pitch to Bartholomew. Ball is popped up to the left side. Parsons drifts under and makes the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. But not before the Gunnison Valley Bulldogs score 2 runs on 2 hits and 1 error. And after the top half of the first, the Gunnison Valley Bulldogs lead the South Sevier Rams 2-0. We'll be back after these messages.
Since 1947, Barney Trucking has built a reputation of unparalleled customer service and satisfaction in the trucking industry. Barney Trucking is now hiring drivers statewide, including Beaver, Millard, Sevier, San Pete, Juab, Carbon, Emery, Utah, and Salt Lake counties, as well as many other locations. The job includes a home daily schedule, excellent pay, benefits, training, retirement, a positive work environment, and requires a Class A CDL license with doubles endorsement. To apply, go to barneyjobs.com. That's barneyjobs.com.
At Central Valley Medical Center, we're committed to offering the best care.
In your life's first moments. Through your life's biggest emergencies.
in your everyday help,
in those days that mean the most.
Central Valley Medical Center will be there with you through each step and stage of life, bringing the best care because we care, closer to home.
Welcome back to the State Softball Championships on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom in partnership with KSL Sports. I'm Matt Robinson, and we move to the bottom half of the first inning. In the top half of the first inning, the Gunnison Valley Bulldogs plated 2 runs to take a 2-0 lead.
Number 9, Mackenzie Parsons.
Moving to the bottom half of the first inning, leading off will be number 9, Parsons, a freshman. Pitching in the circle for the Gunnison Valley Bulldogs is Maylee Ha'o, a sophomore. And here's the pitch. Fastball on the inner half, and Parsons able to get the bat on it, but fouls it off the right side. 0-1. No balls, 1 strike here to the leadoff batter for the South Sevier Rams in the bottom half of the first inning. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Ball inside, levels the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. So South Sevier looking to respond after giving up 2 runs in the top half of the first. Fastball right down the pipe ski, and Ha'o gets Parsons swinging, strike 2. Count is 2-2. And that's a ball low. Levels the count at 2-2. Swing and a strike 3. And Ha'o gets Parsons on swinging strike 3 for the first out in the bottom half of the first inning.
Next up, second baseman number 36, Maya Deaton.
Stepping into the plate is number 36, Deaton. Takes ball 1, strike 1, excuse me. There's ball 1, outside and low. Levels the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here. Maya Deaton steps into the box. Swing and a miss. So Ha'o with some good velo there. Gets Deaton to swing and miss and jumps up 1-2 with 1 out. Backwards K, strike 3. Ha'o painted the outside corner and got Deaton down looking. Sat Deaton down looking for the second out here in the bottom half of the first inning. So Nilsson steps into the box, and that's a dead ball. Nilsson hit by pitch, and Nilsson laid in the box and thought about it for a second and quickly jumps up and trots down to first base. I would imagine they'll give Nilsson a second or two to make sure that she's okay. It looked like she took that one either off the ankle or off the shin. She's walking on down the first baseline, making sure she's okay. So with 2 outs, Ha'o gives up the hit by pitch, and the South Sevier Rams have their first base runner of the night aboard as Kinley Phelps steps into the box. Two outs, runner on first. Stepping into the box is Kinley Phelps. Ball missed outside. Count is 1-0. 2 outs, runner on first. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Ha'o. Ball is low and inside, and the second consecutive hit by pitch. Uh-oh, tapping the top of her hat, saying, yeah, that one's on me. After getting the first two batters down in order, Ha-Oh gives up 2 consecutive hit by pitch. So with 2 outs in the bottom half of the first inning, you have runners on first and second with Taylor, number 14, the senior, stepping into the box. Here's the pitch to Taylor. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Ha-Oh comes up in the zone with the high heat, and Taylor just couldn't catch up to it. Ball is low and inside and goes to the backstop. Wild pitch by Ha-Oh allows both runners to advance, so now there's 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 outs with runners on second and third. And with 1 swing of the bat, runners in scoring position, Taylor could tie this game up. Ha-Oh, a great pitch on the outside corner, called strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 outs here in the bottom half of the first. Ball just missed off the inside corner. Levels the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. And Taylor still alive. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Here's the pitch by Ha-Oh. Ball 3, low and inside. And that brings the count to full. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runners on second and third. And here's the 3-2 pitch. Ball fouled back. Taylor staying alive. Ha-Oh brought the high heat, painted the outside corner, but Taylor able to foul it off and stay alive. So the count remains full with 2 outs, runners on second and third. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Fouled off again by Taylor. A great battle going on between Ha-Oh and Taylor. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Runners on second and third. And again, here's the 3-2 pitch from Ha-Oh. Swing and a miss with the high fastball, and Taylor chased the high heat up, and that's a swinging strike 3 for the 3rd out of the inning. And at the end of 1 complete, the Gunnison Valley Bulldogs lead the South Sevier Rams 2-0. We'll be back after these messages.
This is how legends
2024 Chevy Silverado HD with Duramax diesel. And the Chevy Silverado with powerful TurboMax engine. No matter what route you take, there's a Chevy truck to get you there. Find new roads. Get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Silverado 1500 LT TurboMax pickups. Plus, get a $4,000 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle. See your Rocky Mountain Chevy dealers.
Centricom believes the service relationship continues long after installation, and we're available to support you every step of the way. That's why if there is a problem with our equipment, a service visit from us means no cost to you. We know the value of a satisfied customer, so if you refer us to a friend, we'll take care of them and you'll get 1 month of service free. We promise to make your experience the best it can be. Centricom, keeping you connected.
Welcome back to State Softball Championships here live from the Spanish Fork Softball Complex on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom in partnership with KSL Sports. I'm Matt Robinson. We're moving to the top half of the 2nd inning. At the end of 1 full inning, the Gunnison Valley Bulldogs lead the South Sevier Rams 2-0. Taylor again toes the rubber for the South Sevier Rams and opens up with a first pitch foul ball, just foul down the 3rd baseline. An off-speed pitch, and number 9 for Gunnison Valley able to sit back and just foul down the 3rd baseline.
Batting number 9, Shay King.
Swing and a strike. Strike 2. Taylor comes with a breaking ball off the outside corner of the plate and quickly goes up 0-2. Look for her to move even further outside on this last pitch. Nope, she comes in, and King again hammers it down the third baseline. Shay King, a sophomore, down 0-2 here in the top of the second inning. And here's the 0-2 pitch. Fouled off to the right side, and the count will remain no balls, 2 strikes. Down 0-2, King hanging tough. Has made great contact so far this at bat, but finds herself down 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Taylor. Ball is popped straight up in the air, and the catcher Nielsen moves under it for the first out of the inning. That's a pop out to the catcher for the first out of the inning.
Next up, left fielder, number 19, Cora Marker.
And number 19, Marker, a sophomore, steps into the box. 1 out, nobody on. And that's a slap, hard hit line drive down the third baseline over top of the third baseman. And that's a 1 out double by Marker here in the top half of the second inning.
Back to the top of the lineup for the Lady Bulldogs. Number 2, Riley Dyring.
And back to the top for the Bulldogs. Dyring steps into the box. Dyring 0 for 1 on the day. Taylor delivers the first pitch of the at-bat, high and outside, ball 1. So with 1 out, Marker on the 1 out double on second base. And there's the pitch, high and inside. That's a ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out, runner on second base. Pitch is high for ball 2. Count moves to 2 balls and no strikes, 3 balls and no strikes. And there's a strike by Taylor right down the pipe. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out, runner on second. And here's the 3-1 pitch from Taylor. Ball 4, high and inside. So Dyring draws the walk with 1 out. The Bulldogs have 2 runners on, first and second, with number 24, Sorensen.
Catcher number 24, Jaquel Sorensen.
Sorensen 1 for 1 on the night. With a great hit in her first at-bat, takes outside, ball 1. Count is 1-0, runners on first and second with 1 out here in the top of the second inning. Ball is low and inside, ball 2. And that was a great read by the base runners who read the glove spin by the catcher and took the bag. Catcher kept the ball in front of her, but the base runners very heads up. Advance. So now with 1 out, runners are on second and third, and the count is 2-0. There's a foul straight back and out of play. 2 balls, 1 strike. Taylor with a great location on that pitch off the inside corner and got Sorensen to foul tip. Count is 2-1. 1 out, runners on second and third. Sorensen with an opportunity to do some damage with runners in scoring position. Ground ball to the right side. Fielded, that's a 4-3 put out. But Sorensen did her job. She got a ground ball to the right side and plated the run. That's a RBI by Sorensen, advances the runners and scores the run on the hard hit ground ball to the right side of the infield. So here in the top half of the second inning, the Gunnison Valley Bulldogs take a 3-0 lead, and promptly Kiesel steps up and smashes a double to the left center gap, which scores another run, and then Kiesel advances from second to third on the throwing error. So Kiesel, with another great hit and some very heads-up running, advances all the way to third base on the double. So the double by Kiesel advances the third on the throw, and that is 2 outs. Score is now Gunnison Valley 4, South Sevier 0. And there's another well-hit line drive to straightaway center field. And that ball is out of here.
Congratulations, Bailey, on your hot dog home run. Make sure you come in and grab a coupon.
So
your free hot dog. Congratulations.
So with Kiesel on base, that's the second consecutive hard hit line drive to center field. Ha'o leaves the ballpark, and that's a 2-out, 2-run home run by the sophomore Ha'o, who helps her cause.
20, Bentley King.
And that will take the score to 6-0 for the Gunnison Valley Bulldogs here in the top of the second. Ha'o did not miss that one. There's the pitch. Now batting King with 2 outs. Ball is fouled back, levels the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 outs, nobody on. Gunnison Valley leads 6-0 here in the top half of the second inning. Here is the 1-1 pitch. Ball is high and outside. Pitch is high and outside for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. There's a looping fly ball back to the pitcher, caught for the 3rd out of the inning, but more damage done by the Gunnison Valley Bulldogs in the top of the second. They plate 4 runs, and they lead the South Sevier Rams 6-0 moving to the bottom half of the second. We'll be right back.
The Beaver Medical Clinic has built a reputation of providing compassionate health care for residents of Beaver and Iron counties. You'll appreciate the professional services of Drs. Roger Smith, Wade Oakton, Lance Smith, Rhett Smith, and nurse practitioners Wade Hollingshead, Lindsay Cheney, Robin Horton, and Joan Yardley. The Beaver Medical Clinic is a family practice offering affordable health care and convenient payment options, with offices in Beaver, Milford, and Parowan.
Honey's Marketplace invites you to experience their refreshing variety and signature items. Honey's Marketplace features a wide selection of camping supplies, a garden nursery, and fresh floral department. Experience fresh-baked artisan breads and pastries in their bakery, and sushi made fresh every day. Get all this with hometown service you deserve. Fresh, friendly, and close to home. Honey's Marketplace, 260 East, 300 South in Kanab.
Welcome back to the State Softball Championships on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom in partnership with KSL Sports. I'm Matt Robinson. We're moving to the bottom half of the second inning, and the Gunnison Valley Bulldogs plate 2 runs in the top of the first and 4 runs in the top of the second, and the South Sevier Rams need desperately to stay in this ball game, 1 base runner at a time. You'll have 6, 7, 8, Gordon, Strait, and Anderson here for the South Sevier Rams, and they need base runners. Powell toes the rubber. Here's the pitch, high and outside, ball 1. Number 10, Gordon, steps into the box. Foul ball down the left field, down the third baseline. Strike 1. Evens the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Ball 2 high, 2 balls, 1 strike. And the South Sevier Rams need runners, need base runners. Down 6-0. There's strike 2. That levels the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. To the leadoff batter, Gordon, here in the bottom half of the second inning. Ball 3. Full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out here in the bottom half of the second. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Ha'o gets Gordon to offer on the pitch low and outside for the first out of the inning.
Number 22, Kelly Strait.
Now up to bat, number 22, Kelly Straight, the senior. With 1 out, Straight steps into the box, and the Rams need base runners. Here's the pitch by Ha'o. Swing and a miss, strike 1. So Ha'o starting to feel some rhythm here. Gets the 3-2 strikeout. Starts this at-bat off with a fastball right down the pipe. Paints the inside corner for strike 2, and Ha'o starting to look like she's feeling some rhythm. Straight goes down, no balls, 2 strikes with 1 out here in the bottom half of the second. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fouled back, count remains 0-2. Ha'o up 0-2, toes the rubber. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Change up. Just missed. Ha'o wanted that one badly, but ball just missed for ball 1. Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Swing and a miss and a drop third strike, and the catcher Sorensen quickly picks up the ball and throws it to first base for the out. So another strikeout by Ha'o and a drop third strike. Sorensen, the catcher, promptly throws it for the out at first base. So for the second out of the inning. Number 19, Anderson, steps into the box for her first plate appearance of the evening. Ball is fouled straight back. And Ha'o quickly jumps up 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch, 2 outs. Oh, I had it wrong. That should be strike 2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. As Ha'o paints the inside corner. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Change up, swing and a miss. Strike 3 for the third out of the inning. And the South Sevier Rams go down in order in the bottom half of the second. And at the end of 2 complete, the Gunnison Valley Bulldogs lead the South Sevier Rams 6-0. We'll be back after these messages.
The Intermountain Power Service Corporation is committed to supporting our local schools, communities, and the economies of central and south central Utah. Each year, IPSC's 2 950-megawatt generating units provide 3 million megawatt hours of energy for communities in Utah and Southern California. The Intermountain Power Project ranks among the best of coal-based power plants in reliability, cost-effectiveness, and environmental responsibility. IPSC, honored to sponsor this sports broadcast.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer, or stop by any branch.
Hi, I'm Barrett Hilton with TeamHive.live, where we've created a locally run video streaming platform for Utah schools. Bookmark TeamHive.live, Utah's new home for streaming high school sports and other events. Powered by Centricom Local 10.
Welcome back to the State Softball Championships, live from the Spanish Fork Softball Complex on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom, partnered with KSL Sports. Moving into the top half of the third inning. And number 12, Pratt, smokes a line drive down the left field line, but the ball lands just foul. So in the top of the first, the Bulldogs score 2 runs. In the top of the second, they score 4. And they're able to shut the Rams out through 2 complete, leading the Rams here, moving into the top of the third inning, up 6-0. And that levels the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Pitch from Taylor, high and outside, 2 balls and a strike. Now to Pratt, the freshman. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Ball fouled off to the right side. Strike 2 levels the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes with nobody out. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Taylor. Ball fouled off again to the right side. Count remains at 2-2. Taylor just passed the 50 pitch mark. Having already pitched a bunch of pitches today, Taylor got to be running on fumes. Hopefully she had a good lunch and she's got some gas back in the tank. Ball again fouled straight back, and the count remains at 2-2. There's the 2-2 pitch, an off-speed pitch. Again, hammered down the left field line, and again, just foul. Pratt seeing that ball well and has hammered it twice, but foul out of play down the left field line. Count remains at 2-2. Let's see if Taylor comes with something off speed or off the outside corner. Fastball up and in, again fouled off, so a very tough, gritty at-bat by Madeline Pratt, the freshman, number 12 for the Bulldogs. And Taylor paints the outside corner, and after a very tough at-bat, Pratt goes down with the backwards K.
Now batting right fielder number 44, Maggie Bartholomew.
So one out here to start the top half of the third inning. Stepping into the box is number 44, Maggie Bartholomew, a junior. Bartholomew starts the at-bat off with a hard hit foul ball down the left field line. Taylor pushing the pace from the circle. Strike two, fouled straight back over the backstop. And Taylor quickly jumps up on Bartholomew, 0-2, with one out. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Taylor. Pitch was up and in, but Bartholomew offered and fouled it off again down the left field line. Count remains 0-2. Taylor towing the rubber. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Changeup, again hammered down the left field line. So Taylor remains up. No balls, 2 strikes with one out, but Bartholomew making good contact, hammering everything hard down the left field line. We'll see if Taylor moves off the outside corner here. Pitch is low for ball one. So 1 ball, 2 strikes with Bartholomew hammering everything hard down the left field line. Look for Taylor to throw something off the outside corner. Here's the 1-2 pitch. She came inside. May have missed her spot, but nonetheless gets the swinging strike 3 for the second out of the inning. And Taylor sets him down in order.
Number 9, Shay King.
The backwards K and the swinging strikeout. So 2 outs here in the top of the third. Ground ball straight back up the middle, fielded by the shortstop across the diamond for the 6-3 put out, and that will end the top half of the third. No runs on no hits, and after 2.5, the Gunnison Valley Bulldogs remains up 6-0 over the South Sevier Rams. We'll be back right after these messages.
Nephi Federal Credit Union in Nephi offers convenient service and a variety of financial services. They're your hometown credit union that's been serving local residents for over 63 years, longer than any other financial institution in Nephi. The staff invites you to check out their incredible rates on a variety of loans and savings accounts. Nephi Federal Credit Union, 155 North Main in Nephi. Call 623-1895. That's 623-1895. Nephi Federal Credit Union, proud supporter of the Wasps this season.
I'm Dr. Sorensen. I'm a board-certified pediatrician, and I'm the newest addition to the team of doctors here at Central Valley Medical Center. My goal is to work closely with you when making decisions about your child's health. After all, you know them better than anyone else.
I think as a mom, it can be really overwhelming to find a doctor who's a really good fit for your family. I look for someone who I can trust. It's so validating and comforting knowing that I can call and get the answers I need from Dr. Sorensen and his staff.
I look forward to meeting you and your child and bringing you the best care closer to home.
Welcome back to the State Softball Championships live from the Spanish Fort Softball Complex. You're watching State Softball on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom in partnership with KSL Sports. Stepping into the box for the South Sevier Rams to start the bottom half of the third inning is number 1, Aspen Dickinson. And Howell quickly goes up 0-1 with a strike on the outside corner. Howell looking to push the pace, quickly towing the rubber and looking to push the tempo of the game. 1 ball and 1 strike to Dickinson. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Foul ball down the third baseline for strike 2. Hall comes with the high fastball, and Dickinson, unable to catch up to it, fouls it off down the third baseline. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Hall. Great off-speed pitch, but Dickinson showed good discipline. Ball 2 outside. Levels the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So down 6 runs in the bottom of the third, the South Sevier Rams need base runners. And there it is, backwards K. Strike 3 looking. Howe painted that pitch across the outside corner, and Dickinson goes down looking for the first out in the bottom half of the third inning.
Batting number 9, Kinsey Parsons.
South Sevier Rams back to the top of the order. Number 9, the freshman Parsons. So with 1 out in the bottom half of the third inning, the South Sevier Rams needing to get base runners aboard. One ball, 1 strike, and 1 out as the pitch is fouled off to the right side. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Pitch is high for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Here in the bottom half of the third inning, Gunnison Valley leads 6-0 over South Sevier. Ball 3, the count is 3-1 with 1 out, and Parsons looking to get aboard and get a base runner for the Lady Rams. Then there's ball 4, high and outside, so Aho gives up a 1-out walk, and Parsons is aboard for the Rams.
Now batting number 36, Maya Deaton.
Number 36, Deaton, the sophomore, steps into the box. She's 0 for 0 today. Wild pitch outside allows Parsons to advance to second base. So Deaton 0 for 1 on the day. Parsons advances to second base on the wild pitch. Count is 2 balls and no strikes to Deaton. Pitch is high and outside for ball 3. So 4 consecutive balls from Ha'o, going clear back to Parsons at bat. There's a strike. Ha'o finds the strike zone, brings the count to 3 balls and 1 strike, 1 out, and a runner on second base. Three balls, 1 strike. Swing and a miss, strike 2. So Ha'o battles back after falling down 3-0, battles back to bring the count full with 1 out and a runner on second. There's the 3-2 pitch, fouled straight back, and Deaton stays alive. here in the bottom half of the third inning. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, runner on second, and the Rams needing desperately to add base runners. There's a high fly ball to left field. The left fielder Marker drifts under the ball, makes the catch for the second out of the inning. So on the 3-2 count, Howe gets Deaton to fly out to deep left field. Runner holds at second base, so 2 outs, runner on second.
Signing next, catcher number 3, Caitlin Nilsson.
Number 3, Nielsen, the sophomore, steps into the box with a runner on second and 2 outs. Nielsen fouls the ball off to the right side. And Howe quickly jumps up 0-1 on Nielsen. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Nielsen. Ball 1, low and inside. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 outs, runner on second. South Sevier looking to come through with some 2-out hits here in the bottom half of the third inning, down 6 runs. Swing and a miss. Fastball off the inside corner. Nielsen offered, and swing and a miss, strike 2 for Howe. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 outs here in the bottom of the third to Nielsen. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Off-speed pitch, hammered to the right center gap by Nielsen. That's going to be an RBI double for Nielsen, and the South Sevier Rams plate their first run of the night, bringing the score to 6-1 on the hard hit line drive to the right center gap by Nielsen. Nielsen comes through with the 2-out double and plates a run. The score now 6-1. Runner on second, 2 outs, and Phelps steps into the box.
Now batting number 33, Kinley Phelps.
Foul ball down the third baseline. And that levels the count at 1 ball and 1 strike with a runner on second and 2 outs. Pitch is high for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runner Nielsen on second base. Phelps steps into the box and takes strike 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Runner on second base, strike 2 looking. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Howe. Fouled off to the right side, and the count remains at 2-2. Phelps staying alive, able to foul that one off and hang tough. Howe toes the rubber, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Ball is well hit deep to right field. The right fielder going back, and that ball is fair ball, ground rule double. At 1 hopped and bounced over the fence. So with 2 outs, Phelps hits a 2-out ground rule double, and that scores Nielsen from second base. So 2 consecutive 2-out doubles for the Lady Rams. Plates the second run of the inning, and that brings the score 6-2 here in the bottom of the third. So great 2-out hitting there by the South Sevier Rams as they plate 2 runs, both with 2 outs. There's a first pitch strike. That's going to be a very difficult play. Second baseman drifted back but couldn't get there in time, and that ball drops in fair play. Taylor hits the looping fly ball that drops in just in front of Bartholomew, off of Bartholomew's glove. That's probably an E9 on Bartholomew, but the South Sevier Rams able to score another run. And that brings the score to 6-3. And Gordon with another 2-out single over the second baseman's head. And with the score 6-3 and 2 outs, the South Sevier Rams are putting the ball in play. Gunnison Valley coach wants a timeout to talk about it. So the Gunnison Valley head coach, Sarah Ellsworth, calls a timeout to walk to the field, walk to the circle to calm her club down, as that's a third consecutive 2-out hit. It advances the runners to first and third with 2 outs. And Straight, number 22, Kelsey Straight, steps into the box. Straight 0 for 1 today with 2 outs, has runners on first and third. And the South Sevier Rams answer with 3 runs of their own so far here in the bottom half of the third inning, bringing the score 6-3 in favor of the Gunnison Valley Bulldogs. 2 outs, runners on first and third. Now the South Sevier coach approaches the plate umpire. Looks like South Sevier is going to make a lineup change. So into the game is number 5, Ashton Miller, batting for Straight here with 2 outs in the bottom of the third inning. First pitch, ball high and outside. So the count goes to 1-0 with 2 outs, runners on first and third. And the South Sevier Rams looking to do some more damage here in the bottom of the third inning. Foul tip, straight back off the catcher's glove for strike 1. Levels the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Number 5, Miller, pinch hitting for Straight here in the bottom half of the third inning. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Ball too high, and runner goes, and she's tagged out on the attempted steal, and the run does not count as the tag was made at second base before the run plated. So very interesting base running decision with the Rams down 3 runs. The runner is thrown out trying to advance to second, and that ends the bottom half of the third inning. But the South Sevier Rams plate 3 runs, and that rounds out the third inning. The South Sevier Rams trailing by 3 runs, 6 runs for Gunnison, 3 runs for South Sevier. We'll be right back.
San Pete Steel in Moroni was founded in 1994 and is one of the major steel construction companies in the Intermountain West, specializing in structural steel fabrication and erection. San Pete Steel's impressive portfolio includes the Hale Theater in Sandy and structures on the campuses of the University of Utah, BYU, and UVU. San Pete Steel in Moroni, where their motto is done right and on time, at 685 East Main in Moroni. Call 800-261-1026, 800-261-1026, or sanpetesteel.com. Beaver Valley Hospital continues to offer high-quality health care at the state's lowest price. Beaver Valley Hospital has state-of-the-art laboratory and radiology services, including cutting-edge X-ray and 3D ultrasound. The hospital also provides expanded surgical procedures for orthopedics and laparoscopic hysterectomy. Remodeled patient rooms and long-term care facilities combine with compassionate staff to provide our patients a comfortable and healing environment. Beaver Valley Hospital is a proud community supporter and is pleased to sponsor Beaver High School.
Welcome back to the State Softball Championships, live from the Spanish Fork Softball Complex on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom, in partnership with KSL Sports. We move to the top half of the fourth inning. The Gunnison Valley Bulldogs leading the South Sevier Rams 6-3. And leading off the top half of the fourth inning for the Bulldogs is number 19, Marker. Marker, first pitch, foul. Second pitch, foul. Marker, a bit of a slap hitter, is 1 for 1 on the night with a hard hit line drive down the third baseline. Quickly behind 0-2 here in the top half of the fourth. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Taylor. Fouled straight back. Count remains no balls, 2 strikes in the top half of the fourth. So Taylor toes the rubber, up 0-2 here in the top of the fourth to number 19, Cora Marker. Ball one, count goes to 1-2. It looked like Marker almost offered at that pitch, but able to hold back, and there's another foul ball down the third baseline. And the count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes to Cora Marker. There's the 1-2 pitch just off the outside corner. Nielsen doing her best job with a little glove magic there, trying to get the ball, trying to get the call, but the ball is outside for ball 2. Count levels at 2-2. There's a hard hit ground ball back up the middle by Marker, and with the 2-2 count, Marker singles right back up the middle for the leadoff single for the Bulldogs here in the top of the fourth.
Back to the top of the lineup for the Lady Bulldogs. Now batting number 2, Riley Dyring.
And we go back to the top for the Bulldogs here in the top of the fourth. Dyring 0 for 1 on the day. Lays down the bunt. South Sevier Rams, Parsons charging hard and makes a great play. Parsons charging hard, fields the ball and throws Dyring out at first base, but Dyring does her job in advancing Marker to second base with the bunt. So 1 out, runner on second here in the top half of the fourth inning. Marker advanced to second base, and that brings Sorensen to the plate. First pitch goes to the backstop. That's a wild pitch. Ball 1, and Marker advances to third base. So with 1 out, Sorensen needs something to the right side or something deep to plate this run on third base. 1 out, runner on third. Ball 1 to Sorensen, who is 1 for 2 on the day. Here's the pitch. Ball is off the inside corner. Sorensen offers and fouls it off deep down the left field line. And the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. Ball again pitched off the inside corner, but Sorensen able to get the barrel on it just enough to hit a line drive over the shortstop into left field. And Sorensen does her job and plates the run. Marker from third base, bringing the score 7-3 here in the top half of the fourth inning. An RBI single by Sorensen. Number 10, Lexi Kiesel, the senior, steps into the box. Kiesel 2 for 2. 1 out, runner on first. And Kiesel hits a flare down the right field line. Will it stay fair? No, drops into foul territory. And Kiesel quickly down 0-2 here with 1 out and a runner on first in the top half of the fourth inning. Kiesel down 0-2, 1 out. 2 for 2 on the day is Kiesel. Here's the pitch from Taylor. Good 0-2 pitch from Taylor. Doesn't want to give Kiesel anything too good to hit. Ball 1 to Kiesel. There's a hard hit ground ball. Bounces over the glove of the shortstop. And Kiesel's going to advance to second. That ball was a hard hit ball, bounced over the glove of Phelps for the 1 out hit by Kiesel. Kiesel got good wood on the bat and it found a gap. Sorensen advances all the way to third base. So runners now on second and third with 1 out. And Miley Ha'o steps into the box. Ha'o 1 for 2 with the 2-run home run and 2 RBIs. Now with 2 runners in scoring position here in the top of the fourth for the Gunnison Valley Bulldogs. So the South Sevier Rams put Ha'o on to the open base. No, excuse me. Ha-Ho hits a line drive single, RBI single, and plated Sorensen. So it brings the score to 8-3 with one out here in the top of the fourth. Runners on first and third with King stepping into the box. King 1 for 2 on the day. So Ha-Ho's bat stays hot with another RBI single. Runners on first and third, one out. And the count goes to 1-1 for King. Here's the pitch. Hard hit line drive to the right fielder. Right fielder drifts over, makes the catch, and attempts to double the runner off back at first base. Is not able to make the play. And the runner from third, Kiesel, tags, and another run scores for the Gunnison Valley Bulldogs. So King, with the sacrifice fly to the right fielder, scores the run Kiesel, and Ha-Ho able to advance to second on the throw. So Gunnison Valley 9, South Sevier 3 here in the top half of the fourth, 2 outs. And Ha-Ho advances to second base. Number 12, Pratt steps in. Pratt hits a ground ball to the shortstop, fielded, and thrown across by Phelps for the 6-3 putout to end the top half of the fourth inning. But the Gunnison Valley Bulldogs add 3 additional runs in the top of the fourth, bringing the score of Gunnison Valley 9, South Sevier 3, moving into the bottom half of the fourth. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Barrett Hilton with TeamHive.live, where we've created a locally run video streaming platform for Utah schools. On our website, you're not going to wade through a bunch of unrelated content. You bring up TeamHive.live and you're just going to find a lot of high school sports and events. We've created tools that make it super easy for you to create events and stream to our site. And if you ever need help with anything, you can give me a call. So I want to invite your school to join the team. If you're a Utah high school, you can stream live on TeamHive. That's TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom.
Vince Lombardi once said, "The measure of who we are is what we do with what we have." The quote rings true whether applied to our country, our schools, our homes, or on the field of play. We applaud our student athletes for their hard work and determination on the field and in the classroom. Brought to you by Sunrise Engineering, promoting excellence in sports and education. Visit us at sunrise-eng.com. That's sunrise-eng.com.
Welcome back to the state softball championships on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom, in partnership with KSL Sports. I'm Matt Robinson, and we move to the bottom half of the fourth inning. The Gunnison Valley Bulldogs played 2 runs in the first, 4 runs in the second, and 3 runs in the fourth. And the South Sevier Rams played 3 runs in the bottom of the third. And that brings the score 9-3, Gunnison Valley over South Sevier.
For the Lady Rams, number 5, Ashton Miller.
Coming to the bottom half of the fourth inning.
And in the hole, number 9, Kinsey Parsons.
First pitch fouled off down the first baseline by number 5, Miller. And Ha-Ho is approaching the 70 pitch mark here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. 68 pitches by Ha-Ho. 41 strikes. Ha-Ho painting the strike zone all night long. And there's ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out. Number 5, Miller, in the box for the Lady Rams. Called strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Called strike 3. Ha-Ho painted the outside corner in the backwards K. And Miller goes down looking for the first out in the bottom half of the fourth inning.
Left fielder, number 19, Audrey Anderson.
Number 19, Anderson, steps into the box. Ball 1, high. Anderson 0 for 1 on the night here in the bottom of the fourth. Ball 1. 1 out, nobody on. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Ha-Ho. And fouled back, strike one. That levels the count at 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. No base runners on. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Ball is fouled off, out of play down the right field line for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Uh-oh to Anderson. Hard hit ground ball between first and second base for a 1-out single for number 19, Anderson. And the first runner of the bottom half of the 4th inning aboard for the South Sevier Rams. And the throwing error allows Anderson to advance all the way to third base. So with 1 out, Anderson singles between first and second base, and then a throwing error allows Anderson to advance all the way to third. So with 1 out, the runner advances all the way to third base. Dickinson steps into the box. One out, runner on third. Ball 1. One ball, no strikes to Dickinson. Here's the pitch. Ball 2, high and in. So Dickinson goes up. 2 balls, no strikes here with 1 out. Runner on third base in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Ball 3, low and outside. So Dickinson quickly takes a 3-0 lead here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. And there's a timeout from the Gunnison Valley Bulldogs. Want to talk it over with the squad. Gunnison Valley with a 9-3 lead. It's a good timeout by Gunnison Valley, trying to catch their breath and regain just a little bit of rhythm. They're up by 6 runs with 1 out and a runner on third base. So we're back and ready for play. Three balls, no strikes. Here's the 3-0 pitch. And the ball is fouled off down the third baseline for strike 1. So Dickinson, with 3 balls and no strikes, has the green light to swing away. Here's the 3-1 pitch from Ha'o. Looked to be ball 4 up and out of the zone, but Dickinson offers and fouls it back to bring the count to full. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out and a runner on third base here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Full count, ball 4. Dickinson draws the walk, a very tough at-bat for Dickinson. So with 1 out, Dickinson draws the 1-out walk. Runners, that'll bring runners on first and third. And number 9, Parsons, stepping into the box. First pitch, fouled over the right first base dugout for strike 1. So runners on first and third with 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning, and Parsons steps into the box. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Ground ball hit to the right side, fielded by the second baseman, and it's the 4-3 put out. But Parsons drives in a run and brings the score to 9-4 on the ground ball to the right side. Parsons does her job, moves the runner, and scores the run. So 2 outs, runner on second base, and that brings the score 9-4 for the for the Gunnison Valley Bulldogs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Number 36, Maya Deaton, steps in. And with 2 outs and a runner on second base. And South Sevier looking to stay alive here in the bottom of the 4th. Ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on second. And Deaton looking to find a gap. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Deaton. Swing and a miss, strike 3 for the 3rd out of the inning. The South Sevier Rams plate 1 run in the bottom half of the 4th, and that brings the score at the end of 4 completes. Gunnison Valley Bulldogs 9, South Sevier Rams 4. We'll be right back.
Since 1947, Barney Trucking has built a reputation of unparalleled customer service and satisfaction in the trucking industry. Barney Trucking is now hiring drivers statewide, including Beaver, Millard, Sevier, San Pete, Juab, Carbon, Emery, Utah, and Salt Lake counties, as well as many other locations. The job includes a home daily schedule, excellent pay, benefits, training, retirement, a positive work environment, and requires a Class A CDL license with doubles endorsement. To apply, go to barneyjobs.com. That's barneyjobs.com.
At Central Valley Medical Center, we're committed to offering the best care.
In your life's first moments.
Through your life's biggest emergencies.
In your everyday help.
In those days that mean the most.
Central Valley Medical Center will be there with you through each step and stage of life, bringing the best care because we care, closer to home.
Welcome back to the State Softball Championships on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom. In partnership with KSL Sports, I'm Matt Robinson. And we move to the top half of the 5th inning, where the Gunnison Valley Bulldogs lead the South Sevier Rams 9-4. Taylor again takes the circle for the South Sevier Rams. Leading off the top half of the 5th is Bartholomew for the Gunnison Valley Bulldogs.
First, number 44, Maggie Bartholomew.
Count is 1-1 to Bartholomew. Pitch is fouled straight back for strike 2. So Bartholomew 0 for 2 on the day, falls behind 1 ball, 2 strikes here in the top half of the 5th. The 1-2 pitch is driven deep to the left center gap and over the fence. Maggie Bartholomew down 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hits a line drive to the left center gap for a solo shot to lead off the top of the 5th inning for the Gunnison Valley Bulldogs. Bartholomew hammered that ball over the left center fence for a 1-run home run. Bartholomew delivers in the leadoff at-bat in the top of the 5th with the solo shot over the left center fence. Now stepping into the box, Shea King, a sophomore for the Gunnison Valley Bulldogs. King 0 for 2 on the day. Score is now 10-4. Gunnison Valley leads South Sevier here in the top of the 5th. Ball is popped up to the left side. Parsons, the third baseman, under it for the catch and the first out of the inning. So King follows the home run up with a pop out to third base for the first out of the inning.
Next up, left fielder number 19, Corey Marker.
Number 19, Marker, steps up to the plate. Marker 2 for 2 on the day. Marker fouls the first one off down the third baseline, falls behind 0-2. So 1 out, nobody on. Here's the pitch to Marker. Called foul ball. Just foul down the third baseline. And Marker down 0-2 here with 1 out in the top half of the 5th inning. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fouled back, and the count remains 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the top half of the 5th. Ball again fouled off down the third baseline by Marker. Count remains 0-2 with 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Taylor. Ball put in play right back to the pitcher, Taylor. The pitcher fields the ball and throws across to first base for out number 2 here in the top half of the 5th. So Marker grounds out to Taylor.
At the top of the lineup for the Bulldogs, number 2 center fielder Riley Dyring.
So 2 outs, nobody on here in the top half of the 5th. Back to the top of the order, Dyring, who is 0 for 2 on the day. Ball just low and outside for ball 1 with 2 outs here in the top half of the 5th. Well hit line drive to the right center gap, and the ball squirts to the right side. That's going to be a 2-out double by Dyring. Ball had a lot of spin on it as it hit the ground. It squirted to the right, which gave Dyring the chance to advance to second base. So with 2 outs, Dyring hits a double and advances to second base.
Catcher number 24, Jaquel Sorensen.
Sorensen back to the plate. And this is the meat of the order for the Gunnison Valley Bulldogs. Dyring, Sorensen, and Kiesel. Sorensen 2 for 3 on the day. Strike 1 looking to Sorensen. There's ball 1 off the inside corner. So with the runner on second base and 2 outs, Sorensen steps to the plate, looking to do some additional damage here in the top half of the 5th. Here's the pitch to Sorensen. Ball hits straight up the middle to center field, drops in for fair. They're going to send the runner. There's a play at the plate. And Dyring, with some great base running, comes in safe on her belly. And another 2-out double by Sorensen plates a run. And the Gunnison Valley Bulldogs move to 11-4 over the South Sevier Rams here in the top half of the 5th inning. Great 2-out hitting by the Bulldogs here. So Sorensen to second base, and into the box steps Kiesel, who is 3 for 3 on the day.
Now batting number 10,
and
Kiesel.
Kiesel looking to get a pitch in the zone, something that she can drive with Sorensen in scoring position on second base. First pitch, ball 1. Second pitch fouled straight back to the chain link. Count levels at 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 outs and a runner on second base. Taylor getting ready to throw, or just threw her 100th pitch of the evening. There's pitch 101, fouled straight back again by Kiesel, who falls behind 1-2 in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Kiesel steps back into the box, and here's the pitch. Another line drive hit to the right center gap, and that's going to be another 2-out single, RBI single by Kiesel. Kiesel remains perfect from the plate tonight, is a perfect 3 for 3. Now with 3 RBIs, and the Gunnison Valley Bulldogs take a 12-4 lead here in the top half of the 5th inning. And with the runner on first base, Miley Ha'o steps into the box. Ha'o 2 for 3 on the night. Ha'o with the home run earlier in the game. 3 RBIs. With the runner on first base and 2 outs, the count is 1-0. Ball 2 inside to Ha'o. There's the 1-0 pitch to Ha'o. High and outside for ball 2. Runner Kiesel remains at first base. Here's the 2-3-0 pitch. Strike 1. Taylor finds the inside corner for the first strike of the at-bat. Moves the count to 3 balls and 1 strike with 2 outs. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Fouled off down the third baseline. Brings the count to full. So it'll be 3 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. And Kiesel with full count and 2 outs will be moving on the pitch. So if Ha'o finds a gap, Kiesel may likely score from first base. Fouled off again down the third baseline. So Ha'o stays alive, fouling it off down the third baseline. And Taylor working the inside half of the plate here on Ha'o. Here's the 3-2 pitch. 2 outs and a runner on first. Runner goes. And there's a line drive up the middle. And Kiesel moving. They're going to send her from third. There was a slight bobble by the ball in right center field, and that allowed Kiesel, who was running on the pitch, to score all the way from first base. So another 2-out hit by Ha'o. 2-out RBI single by Ha'o. And Kiesel, who was moving on the pitch, advances all the way from first base and scores. And that makes the score 13-4, Gunnison Valley over South Sevier here in the top half of the 5th. So great 2-out hitting here in the top of the 5th inning for Gunnison Valley. And into the box steps number 20, King. King is 1 for 3 on the day with Ha'o in scoring position. King hits a hard hit ground ball to the shortstop. The shortstop Phelps fields it, throws across the diamond for the 6-3 put out. But more damage done here in the top half of the 5th inning. The Gunnison Valley Bulldogs score 4 runs, and that brings the score 13 for Gunnison Valley, 4 for South Sevier. Here, moving into the bottom half of the 5th inning. We'll be right back.
This is how legends
2024 Chevy Silverado HD with Duramax diesel. And the Chevy Silverado with powerful TurboMax engine. No matter what route you take, there's a Chevy truck to get you there. Find new roads. Get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Silverado 1500 LT TurboMax pickups. Plus, get a $4,000 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle. See your Rocky Mountain Chevy dealers.
Centricom believes the service relationship continues long after installation, and we're available to support you every step of the way. That's why if there is a problem with our equipment, a service visit from us means no cost to you. We know the value of a satisfied customer, so if you refer us to a friend, we'll take care of them and you'll get 1 month of service free. We promise to make your experience the best it can be. Centricom, keeping you connected.
Welcome back to the State Softball Championships here live from the Spanish Fork Softball Complex. And we move to the bottom half of the 5th inning with the Gunnison Valley Bulldogs leading 13-4 over the South Sevier Rams. And here in the evening game, the lights are coming on, and we're moving into crunch time for the South Sevier Rams, now down by 9 runs here in the bottom half of the 5th. Need desperately to get base runners and plate some runs. Swinging strike 1.
Batting catcher number 3, Caitlin Nilsson.
Nilsson offered at the high fastball, which was really up and out of the zone. And swing and a miss, strike 1. Hall follows that up with a pitch low and outside, and that levels the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Ball was inside, swing and a ground ball to the shortstop. Kiesel fields it, throws across the diamond for the first out of the inning. The 6-3 put out on Nilsson. The leadoff batter goes down in a 6-3 put out. Hall hammering the inside half of the plate on that at-bat against Nielsen. So 1 out here in the bottom half of the 5th, and Ha'o leads off the at-bat with a strike 1. Number 33, Phelps. Number 33, Phelps scorches one to the gap. Kiesel able to get her glove on it and keep it on the infield, but that's an infield single by Phelps. That was a well-hit ball, and great play by Kiesel just to get her glove on it. Knocked it down and kept it in the infield, but that's an infield single
Now batting pitcher number
by
14,
Phelps.
Hazen Taylor.
So good 1-out hit by Phelps, and Taylor, the pitcher for the Rams, steps into the box. Foul tip, dead ball, strike 1. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out, and Phelps aboard on first base for the South Sevier Rams, who trail by 9 runs here in the bottom of the 5th. South Sevier needs base runners. Time is running out. They need base runners here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Ha'o. Low, ball 1. Levels the count at 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out to Taylor here in the bottom half of the 5th. Low, ball 2, 2-1. Snap throw by Sorensen back to first base, but not in time. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out to Taylor. High, ball 3. So Hall goes up 0-1, followed by 3 consecutive balls. And Taylor goes up 3 balls to 1 strike here with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. Ball 4. So Taylor draws the 1-out walk, and that puts runners on first and second with 1 out, and Gordon steps into the box. Gordon 1 for 2 on the day.
Batting number 10, Kylie Gordon.
Gordon 1 for 2 with 1 strikeout. Ball 1, runners on first and second with 1 out. South Sevier looking to answer with a couple of runs of their own. Gordon hits a pop fly, and Kiesel drifts back and underneath. Kiesel really covered a lot of ground, able to get back and make that catch on the infield pop fly by Gordon for the 2nd out of the inning. So Gordon flies out to the shortstop, Kiesel, and that brings
batting number 5, Ashton Miller.
Brings up Miller, number 11, who is pinch hitting for straight. 2 outs, runners on first and second. And here's the pitch. Called strike 1 on the inside corner for Ha'o. Ha'o goes up 0-1. So 2 outs, runners on first and second. And the Rams trailing by 9 runs. Need to keep this inning alive. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, runners on first and second. And here's the 1-1 pitch from Ha'o. Fouled straight back for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And Miller looking desperately to find a gap here or find a base, one or the other. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Ha'o. Foul ball again, out of play over the first base dugout. And Miller stays alive, but still down 1 ball to 2 strikes with 2 outs here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. South Sevier Rams trail by 9 runs. 13-4 Gunnison Valley over South Sevier here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Ha'o. Ball is popped straight up. Kiesel drifting back, and another great play by Kiesel drifting back to the gap, making the catch for the 3rd out of the inning, and no run score here in the bottom half of the fifth inning. After 5 complete, Gunnison Valley leads South Sevier 13 runs to 4. We'll be right back.
The Beaver Medical Clinic has built a reputation of providing compassionate health care for residents of Beaver and Iron counties. You'll appreciate the professional services of Drs. Roger Smith, Wade Oakton, Lance Smith, Rhett Smith, and nurse practitioners Wade Hollingshead, Lindsay Cheney, Robin Horton, and Joan Yardley. The Beaver Medical Clinic is a family practice offering affordable health care and convenient payment options, with offices in Beaver, Milford, and Parowan.
Honey's Marketplace invites you to experience their refreshing variety and signature items. Honey's Marketplace features a wide selection of camping supplies, a garden nursery, and fresh floral department. Experience fresh-baked artisan breads and pastries in their bakery, and sushi made fresh every day. Get all this with hometown service you deserve. Fresh, friendly, and close to home. Honey's Marketplace, 260 East, 300 South in Kanab.
Welcome back to the state softball championships on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom in partnership with KSL Sports. I'm Matt Robinson, Jexton Dalla Jr. from North San Pete High School, really running the operation here tonight. And I'm just along for the ride. But after 5 complete innings, we're moving to the top half of the 6th. Gunnison Valley leading by 9 runs, 13 to 4. Number 12, Pratt, leading off the top of the 6th for Gunnison Valley. Pratt 0 for 2 on the day, looking to get something going. And we have a pitching change here for the Lady Rams. Butch Miller, the sophomore, takes the mound for the Lady Rams. Butch Miller came in late in the Paiute game and helped the Lady Rams to a 16-13 victory over Paiute. And Butch Miller, ball 2 outside.
Now pitching for the Rams, number 21, Billy Butch Miller.
Ball 3 outside for Butch Miller. And Pratt likely to have the take on here, up 3-0. And she does not. She offers at a 3-0 pitch, swinging, strike 1. Ball 4, low and inside, and Pratt takes the leadoff walk for the Gunnison Valley Bulldogs. Gunnison Valley up by 9 runs here in the top of the 6th. Would like to get at least 1 run, if not more. Strike 1 by Butch Miller. Maggie Bartholomew 1 for 3 with the home run over the left center fence in the last inning. Here's the pitch by Butch Miller. The count levels at 1 ball and 1 strike. Snap throw back to first base by Nielsen, but Pratt back safely. So the count levels at 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out. Runner on first. Bartholomew 1 for 3 with a home run on the day. High and outside by Butch Miller. Bartholomew goes up 2 balls, no strikes. 2 balls, 1 strike. High and outside again, 3 balls, 1 strike. So a good hitter's count for Bartholomew, up 3-1 here in the top of the 6th inning. And Bartholomew hammers one to left field. Fair ball. Ball stays in play. 1 hop the fence. And that's a double by Bartholomew. So Bartholomew homers, follows that up this inning with a double. Pratt advances all the way to third on the double by Bartholomew. Runners on second and third, nobody out.
Number 9, Shay King.
King steps into the box after the double by Bartholomew. King hits the ground ball to the right side and does her job. Ground ball to the right side, scores Pratt from third base, and there's that run they needed. That makes the score 14-4 here in the top of the 6th. on the RBI ground ball by King. King hits the ball to the right side and scores the run. Pratt, Bartholomew answers, advances to third base. And the slap hit to the left side is the 5-3 put out by Parsons, but also does just enough to bring Bartholomew across the plate to score, bringing the runs total to 15-4. So 2 consecutive infield ground balls score the runs from third base for the Gunnison Valley Bulldogs. And a ground ball to Parsons. Parsons throws across the diamond for the second consecutive 5-3 put out for the third out of the inning, but not before the Gunnison Valley Bulldogs plate 2 runs in the top of the 6th, bringing the score to 15-4, moving into the bottom half of the 6th inning, and we'll be right back.
The Intermountain Power Service Corporation is committed to supporting our local schools, communities, and the economies of central and south central Utah. Each year, IPSC's 2 950-megawatt generating units provide 3 million megawatt hours of energy for communities in Utah and Southern California. The Intermountain Power Project ranks among the best of coal-based power plants in reliability, cost-effectiveness, and environmental responsibility. IPSC, honored to sponsor this sports broadcast.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer, or stop by any branch.
Hi, I'm Barrett Hilton with TeamHive.live, where we've created a locally run video streaming platform for Utah schools. Bookmark TeamHive.live, Utah's new home for streaming high school sports and other events. Powered by Centricom Local 10.
Welcome back to the State Softball Championships on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom, in partnership with KSL Sports. And after the top half of the 6th, Gunnison Valley takes an 11-run lead into the bottom half of the 6th.
First up for the Lady Rams, number 19, Audrey Anderson.
The Rams will need to plate at least 2 runs to keep this game moving. First pitch, high fastball fouled straight back, and Howell goes up 0-1. So number 19, Anderson, leading off here in the bottom half of the 6th inning for the Lady Rams, who trail by 11 runs and need to plate 2 runs to keep this game alive. Ball 1 levels the count at 1-1. With an 11-run lead, Ha'o needs to pound the strike zone. Nothing but strikes. And there is a deep fly ball going back, back, back. And what a great catch by the center fielder. Went deep into the gap, almost fell over the fence, but makes the catch for Gunnison Valley. And that was a hashtag SportsCenter top 10 catch by the center fielder right there. Really a great hit, but a better catch
Number 1, Aaron Dickinson.
For the first out of the inning. Great catch by the center fielder, Dyring. And Dickinson steps up to the plate with 1 out, ball 1. So here in the bottom half of the 6th inning, Gunnison Valley trying to close this game out. And what a great play by Dyring in center field. Ball popped up to the third baseman for the second out of the inning. So the Gunnison Valley Bulldogs 1 out away from advancing to tomorrow morning. Dickinson pops out to third baseman King for the second out of the inning, and Ha'o and the Bulldogs 1 out away.
Number 9, Kenzie Parsons.
Back to the top of the order, number 9, Parsons for the Rams. Here's the pitch with 2 outs. Ground ball to the second baseman, and the ball is bobbled by number 12, the second baseman, Pratt. That's going to be an E4 And Parsons reaches on the air with 2
After
outs.
That, second baseman, number 36, Maya Egan.
South Sevier Rams have a heartbeat. It's faint, but they do have a heartbeat here in the bottom half of the 6th. Swing and a miss. Nope, foul tip. Dead ball. Foul tip, dead ball. Otherwise, Parsons would have had second base. But foul tip, dead ball for strike 1, number 36, Deaton. Deaton 0 for 3 on the day. Steps into the box with 2 outs. And Parsons aboard at first base. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runner on first base. Ball is low for pitch is low for ball 2. Great pitch on the inside corner by Ha'o. And that brings the count to 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on first here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. The Bulldogs with an 11-run lead looking to close out the South Sevier Rams here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Called strike 3, and Ha'o paints the outside corner, gets the strike out looking, and that's the 3rd out of the inning, and that's the ball game, ladies and gentlemen, as the Gunnison Valley Bulldogs close out the South Sevier Rams, beating them 15-4 at the end of 6 innings.
Congratulations, Gunnison Valley. Final score, 15, Gunnison Valley 4, South Sevier. South Sevier, congrats on a fantastic season.
So Gunnison Valley advances tomorrow morning. Gunnison Valley scores 2 runs in the first, 4 in the second, 3 in the fourth, 4 in the fifth, and 2 in the sixth, totaling 15 runs on 15 hits. Only 2 errors by the Gunnison Valley Bulldogs. South Sevier scored 3 runs in the third, 1 run in the fourth on 6 hits and 1 error. And the Gunnison Valley Bulldogs advance to tomorrow morning. They play actually at 12:30 here at the Spanish Fork Softball Complex. And they will take on the loser of Enterprise and Parowan tomorrow at 12:30 on Field 3. So Gunnison Valley advances. That's the season for South Sevier. Congratulations to the South Sevier Rams on an excellent season. And that'll do it for us here from the state softball on TeamHive.live, powered by Centricom in partnership with KSL Sports. This is Matt Robinson. Good night, folks. We'll see you tomorrow.